Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series, we're going to be going over Neptune in the houses, okay? And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the 10th house. So having Neptune in your 10th house, all right? And before we get into that, I got to remind you guys to check out my new single, Can't Take the Throne. If you enjoyed the little snippet of music in the beginning of this video, that's my new song, Can't Take the Throne. You can check it out here on YouTube. All you have to do is type my name, Sam Dolphin, and it will surely pop up. You can also listen to it on Spotify and Apple Music. Also, follow me on TikTok. Yes, I do lots of dances and entertaining things on TikTok. You can follow me there at Sam_Dolphin, okay? And finally, if you want to book a reading with me, I do astro readings as well as tarot. You can book that on my email, samastroreadings@gmail.com. That's samastroreadings@gmail.com. And we could go forward with that, all right? So, getting back into Neptune in the 10th house. And the first thing I can say about Neptune in the 10th house is that you can manifest a very creative career. And that's probably a direction that you should go for. Okay, because the 10th house deals with our careers, our big jobs, you know, our legacy, what we're known for doing, okay? And Neptune being this creative energy, okay? It's the furthest from, you know, physical reality. It's the spiritual world, you know, so you can manifest a very spiritual, creative career going into the arts, okay? Music, art, you know, visuals, film, photography, anything creative is definitely a field for you here with Neptune in the 10th house, okay? Neptune doesn't operate like the 10th house because, again, Neptune is a watery energy and it's very spiritual, and 10th house is very physical. It's about physical reality. So these creative careers are not only creative, but even the actual job. Like, you can manifest a very unconventional job that isn't really like your typical kind of like corporate or business or 9-to-5 job, but something more creative, something where you can create your own schedule, so, you know, and do your thing your own way. So Neptune is very fluid, it's very creative, it's very intuitive. So you definitely manifest a very creative career, a very creative reputation, a very creative job. And also the nature of your job. Maybe it's not in the arts, but it's creative in the sense that it's unconventional. Maybe it's your own job. You get to create your own schedule, but definitely whatever it is, it'll definitely be very creative, okay? This is Neptune in the 10th house, so definitely explore the artistic fields, okay? Because your career is meant for that. It's meant for creation. It's meant for something magical. All right. Also, you know, speaking of magic, you know, with Neptune in the 10th house, you can dream a lot about your career, okay? Part of the reason why your careers, you guys can manifest such creative careers, okay, is because you guys are such dreamers about your careers, okay? Neptune is, again, the planet of dreams, creation, vision, okay? So these are people who dream a lot about their career, their reputation, who they're gonna be. Okay, all right, so very interesting point with Neptune 10th house people, because you guys are daydreamers of your career, and this is very much a placement for chasing your dreams, okay? Chasing your dreams, you know, having a dream that you want to chase, okay? Having a dream that you want to put into reality, because 10th house is about reality. It's the physical world. It's the work and the labor that we do to build our careers, and then Neptune's the dream. So, you know, it's like putting a lot of work into your dreams, chasing your dreams, okay? Imagining you being something and putting the work to be there. So with Neptune in the 10th house, very inspirational careers, okay? You are a career dreamer, okay? You have goals and dreams that you want to chase and achieve, okay? And this is why your career fields are so magical, they're so creative, okay? Because it's Neptune here, and Neptune is such a creative energy. Also with Neptune in the 10th house, there can also be confusion, okay, with your career as well. Okay, so as magical and as inspirational as Neptune makes, the 10th house in your career and what you can manifest, there's also lots of confusion, okay, because Neptune's a very dreamy energy. And like I said, it's so opposite from the physical reality. So while you're in your dreams about your career, you have trouble defining it, giving it structure, making it a reality, okay? So be careful with dreaming too much or being so delusional, okay, with your career that you don't actually, it doesn't make any type of realistic sense. There's something about it that's not realistic. There's something about it that you're not making it realistic. There's something unpractical about your career or whatever you're trying to do. And this isn't to say to not chase your dreams. What this means is to add some practicality to your dreams, okay? Be structured, be responsible. You have to remember, this is still the 10th house. So as magical as Neptune is, you still got to put in some work, okay? This is the laws of the 10th house. You need structure. So while Neptune is so inspirational and great for inspiring you to create such a magical, amazing career and chasing your dreams, you got to literally chase them. You got to put in the practical work. You got to put in the work to make them realistic. So there could be a lot of issues defining your career, putting in the work for your career, and also being confused about who you are in your career or what you're meant to be, okay? Neptune in the 10th house, okay? The 10th house deals with our discipline, our structure, okay? How we structure our lives. So a lot of times when you talk about the 10th house, in your chart, you're talking about your own discipline, what you're here to do, your big work, the labor, the discipline you're putting in every day to structure yourself and become something, okay? So with Neptune here, Neptune is the energy of blurring things. It's the energy of non-physical form. So, literally you're having issues making your career something practical, something realistic, giving it form. It's too dreamy. It's too elusive, okay? It's not realistic enough. It's not direct enough, and that can manifest in so many ways. You either not going for your career, doing the practical things you need to do with it, or you just not even understanding who you are. Your discipline could have been low. You could have been, with Neptune in 10th house, this can manifest a life where you were groomed with very little discipline, okay? 10th house deals with our discipline life. So you have Neptune here. There could have been little discipline, little structure in your environment, okay? Maybe your parents didn't really encourage you to figure out who you're supposed to be, okay? Maybe you didn't have lots of examples in your environment of structure, of people creating something practical and being responsible and being disciplined and structurizing your life. Very little structure in your life, and because of that, it creates bigger problems in terms of discipline and work and labor and all the things we do in order to make things realistic and physical, all the practical stuff. So you're going to have issues defining your career because you're not structured, okay? You lack discipline, okay? You haven't had an environment that it has influenced you in that way because of that Neptune energy. So definitely something very important to understand. Yes, this is a very inspirational placement for your career. These inspire some of the most creative people in their careers, creative ideas, inspirational, magical careers that people would dream and wish to have. But if you don't have that discipline, which is hard with Neptune in 10th house, discipline can be a struggle here. You're going to struggle to turn your dreams into reality. It's going to continuously be in a dream state. Okay, so definitely something to recognize here, because Neptune is very dualistic. It's very like your most amazing dreams you can have or the worst nightmare you can have. Okay, so your worst nightmare as a Neptune in 10th house would be not being able to become the person or the person you dreamed to be. Okay, that could be your biggest nightmare. Dreaming and chasing something and never turning it into reality, which is the 10th house. Okay, this is our physical reality, our legacies that we leave behind, what we did here, and the proof and the physical proof of it, the practical proof. So you really got to work on your discipline, okay? Because, you know, it still is an aspect when you're dealing with the 10th house, you know. So just because you got Neptune here doesn't mean, you know, you just dream away. You don't put any work. You got to put in the work. And like I said, with Neptune in the 10th house, you could have been groomed in an environment where structure, discipline were not a strong influence on you. And because it wasn't a strong influence on you, or you weren't groomed that way, you know, it's hard to do it in reality. And of course, the 10th house, where you need all the structure and discipline, you're lacking there, you know. So you can have such issues defining your career, making it into a reality, or understanding what you have to do in order to make it a reality. Understanding discipline is needed, not just dreams and inspiration, but discipline. Also, with Neptune in the 10th house, you can have a very compassionate reputation and career, okay? Neptune is the energy of compassion and feeling for everyone and connecting to everyone, no discrimination. You love all types of people, all the animals, the plants, the trees. It's all about one and everyone being of one. So when you have this in your 10th house, this is how a lot of people view you. They view you as a very compassionate person, someone who can heal others, someone who understands other people, someone who cares for other people. And this is the energy that you can take on with Neptune in the 10th house. You know, you could be very charitable. You know, you could have a career where you're healing other people. You're healing other people's emotions. You know, you could be extremely relatable, okay, with Neptune in the 10th house. Like, a lot of people relate to you. You're just so caring and compassionate. Neptune is a very caring, compassionate energy. You know, it's all about one, and everyone is one. So a lot of people feel equal to you. A lot of people can relate to you. You could be very healing to people. Okay, you could dedicate your career into helping others and making everyone feel at one. Very compassionate career, and that's a very important thing to understand with Neptune 10th house, because you can go into the creatives and the arts with this placement, but you can also go into the fields of healing, of spiritual healing, emotional healing, okay? The healing of the world, caring for other people, teaching people about emotional intelligence and stuff like that. So definitely a huge manifestation with Neptune and the 10th house. And again, you can be very likable and relatable with that Neptune energy, because it's in the 10th house, the place of your reputation. So definitely something to pick up. Also with Neptune in the 10th house, yes, we covered arts. Yes, we covered compassion and that. But you can also be very into spirituality and mysticism and magic and have that type of career, okay? A career where you're influential on a spiritual level. You could be influencing people mystically, okay? You know, this could deal with, you know, topics of occult knowledge, spiritual knowledge, metaphysics, you know, all those types of stuff. So very mystical career as well too. A lot of these topics now are also being popular too. But, you know, with Neptune dealing with the spiritual world, okay, it doesn't just deal with arts and healing, but it also deals with spirituality and mysticism and those types of subjects, you know. Also with Neptune in the 10th house, as relatable and magical and creative as your career or reputation can be, this could be a very vulnerable placement for the 10th house as well too. Not in just the sense of lacking work ethic, but also in the sense of being too vulnerable, being too open. Okay, Neptune has this issue where, you know, it could be very open and compassionate, which is very healing and positive, but it can be very draining on the person, okay? So basically with Neptune in the 10th house is your reputation. This is your public reputation. You have no boundaries here. And the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. You think about this energy, it's all about boundaries. 10th house is about boundaries, it's about structure. So you have Neptune here. Neptune is the opposite. Neptune has no boundaries. It's like everyone, all is one, everyone can come in. So this is literally your reputation. Your reputation is very vulnerable. You don't have protection around it. So this can look like people gossiping about you and ruining your reputation. people violating your boundaries, violating your boundaries in your career. Okay, this reminds me of like how celebrities deal with like paparazzi and gossip and all those type of stuff. You know, maybe you have a business and someone spreads lies about your business and kind of ruins your reputation. That's another form of violating your boundaries. Like, you are very vulnerable here. So as likable and as relatable as you are, you're also vulnerable and you have no protection. So people take advantage of that. People take advantage of you, take advantage of your career. You can have lots of gaslighting in your career, blackballing in your career, negative reputation in your career, people violating your privacy, your boundaries, people ruining your business, people putting in, you know, negative connotations about your business or whatever you're doing. Okay, people violating your emotions, okay, dealing with your career. So there's a lot of pressure here. Okay, 10th house deals with pressure. This is like the big games, okay? So you need boundaries. That's why Capricorn rules this house. It's about boundaries. It's about work ethic. But when you have Neptune here, it takes away those boundaries and you become very vulnerable for scrutiny. You could get scrutinized very badly here. You got to understand that 10th house deals with your public reputation, your fame. Okay, people like putting a bad name on you, people ruining your reputation, people violating your boundaries. You know, be very careful about that because, again, like Neptune in 10th house, I love to use artists. There's so many different examples because you don't have to be an artist just because you have Neptune in 10th house. Okay, you could be a lot of other things and you just approach it in a Neptunian way. But what I'm basically saying is that you need boundaries to protect yourself, okay? Because as magical and as creative as you are, people violate that. And artists are such great examples because, again, they're like very creative. They got all this fame. They're magical. They're entertaining. But look at all the stress that they go through. Look at their reputations going up and down. People violating their boundaries. No privacy. You know, people spreading lies about them and it being widely spread. Like, there's so many violations. That's why I say with Neptune, it could be your greatest dream. Like, you could be such an amazing, influential person with Neptune 10th house, but your boundaries at the same time could be so violated. You know, people just violating you. They feel like you're sensitive and they could just say or do whatever they want. So be careful with that because Neptune 10th house, you need protection, okay? You need protection. You need to protect your energy. And it's very important when you tap into your career, when you tap into your business, you need to be extra aware here, okay? Neptune, wherever Neptune is in your houses is where you're not really aware. So you gotta wake up. Anytime you see Neptune in your chart, wake up, okay? Because there's a huge possibility for blind spot. So here in your career house, you need to wake up and you need to be careful and you need to protect your boundaries, protect yourself. You can't just trust everyone and you can't be so open that you got no protection and now you're getting violated, you know? So definitely be careful with that because it's definitely a weakness that Neptune 10th house people can deal with, you know? So it's like, yeah, you get a lot of fans and a lot of fame, but at the same time, you're getting lots of extreme violation, okay? And boundaries being crossed. It can go wrong very easily. So it could be your greatest dream or your biggest nightmare. So definitely be aware of that. Also, with Neptune in the 10th house, I like to say this is a very blessed placement as well, too, about how you can gain your career. Now, there's two sides to it. Like I said, this is the 10th house. You gotta work. You got to work. You have to work. Just like you need boundaries, you also need work ethic. Okay, so yes, you can fall on the spot of being lazy. Okay, Neptune 10th house can be a person who's lazy in their career. Okay, maybe you're not taking enough work. You're just, like I said, sticking to your dreams. You're just in your dream state. And you're not really being realistic and putting the actual work out there. But at the same time, I will go as far as to say a lot of times Neptune 10th house people are not here to work hard for their career. Okay, you have Neptune in your 10th house because you're supposed to gain your career in a more spiritual way versus more practical. Okay, so this could be like you having a dream about something inspiring and then it coming into to life, okay? Or you see a sign on a billboard and it's something that you're very attracted to. And then all of a sudden you find yourself there, okay? And then, or someone comes up to you and offers you an amazing career deal. Or you pray, 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 and meditate, and then your career comes to you. Literally, Neptune in the 10th house, like I said, yes, they could be a lazy streak, but a lot of times you are meant to do more spiritual work than actual practical work. So you probably, people can say it's lazy, but you probably have Neptune in the 10th house because you're not here to do all this business type of work. That's like that type of traditional practical 10th house business work. You're probably here more to do spiritual work. So the universe doesn't want you to focus on all the systematic practical things of how to gain your career, which is, working jobs and doing your typical business job and going to school and gaining. Maybe you need to just pray and meditate and learn spiritual ideas, and then the universe just brings you the career for you, and then you just go on YouTube and teach some stuff on spirituality. Maybe you don't need to go to school or do all that work. Maybe you just need to work on some songs and do some songwriting. And then someone, you put it on YouTube, you have no followers, you just put it on YouTube, and then the next day, you got 1 million views, and then you got record labels trying to sign you. This is Neptune in the 10th house. Like, you can gain your career in such a magical, spiritual way. Okay, this is not your typical type of job. This is Neptune. It's very creative. So, like I said, there could be a lazy streak with Neptune in 10th house. You could have ideas defining your career, but a lot of times it's probably not up to you. It's probably meant for the universe. Neptune deals with the universe. It's the furthest from physical reality, so it's about spirituality and angels and spirits and guide in the universe, kind of going the flow with the universe. So a lot of times these people just need to go with the flow of the universe. Just be themselves, be creative, be spiritual, meditate, and things will naturally attract to you. So Neptune in the 10th house, yeah, you could be lazy, but at the same point, it's probably meant for you to be more lazier, because you're probably meant to do more spiritual work, more eternal emotional work. Praying, meditation, shadow work, healing your emotions so that you can end up healing other people as a career. So you don't gotta focus on the business. You don't gotta focus on the 9 to 5s. You don't gotta focus so much on the school. Now, don't take this too literally. So yes, so with Neptune 10th house, I'm not saying you're not supposed to do work at all, okay, and completely dodge work. Do not take it like that. Because you still got to do work. Like I said, it's the 10th house. But what I'm saying is that there's more of a focus on spiritual work and the inner work that you do. Okay, this is Neptune. It deals with your inner spirituality, meditation, prayer, working on your creative gifts, working on your spiritual gifts, building those to utilize them for your career. A lot of things are kind of given to you and you're blessed, okay, as long as you follow your intuition and follow the universe. You'll be directed to your career. Okay, so definitely something very important because it's a huge strength in the Neptune in the 10th house. So again, like I said, I'm not saying you're not supposed to do work, because you can attract the career you want with Neptune in the 10th house and not be able to sustain it because of your lack of work ethic. But what I'm saying in general is that spiritual work, inner work, intuition, this is what you're meant to do. So it's probably meant for you to focus more on those than the practical stuff, okay, that are such an opposite vibration from the spiritual stuff. So definitely understand that, because what might be interpreted as lazy is not lazy. It's just your direction in life. Your direction is to work on your spirituality. So as long as you follow the universe, follow your intuition, okay, you'll be able to find the career and be blessed and rewarded with the career that you want. And this is Neptune. Neptune is magical, okay? It's a blessing in this placement to be able to attract your career and gain success through, intuition and spirituality and all things Neptune. So it's a very magical placement in that sense, and a very beautiful thing to understand. So definitely understand that Neptune 10th house, very spiritual. You gain your career through like literally metaphysics and prayer and intuition, okay, and just manifesting it, okay. But I'm not saying you don't work, okay, but I'm saying that you do have that aspect, that magical aspect to your career where you can benefit and gain rewards and success through meditation, through spirituality, through following the universe, okay, and following your intuition. So There is that ease there, and it's not always supposed to be interpreted as lazy, okay? Some people are just magically gifted in some places. But at the same time, don't, rely so much of that and think you don't have to do anything, because like I said, it's still the 10th house. It's just an aspect of the 10th house of having Neptune in that you could be aware of, okay? So definitely Neptune and 10th house thing. And like I said, Neptune is very dualistic. So at one point it could be magical and it could give you your blessings, and at other point it could be stagnant and be a nightmare and have no movement. So you want to do both, okay? You want to put in the work but also put in the spiritual work so that you can have both sides of the coin. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, book a reading with me. I do astro readings as well as tarot. All you have to do is email me at samastroreadings@gmail.com and we could go forward with that. Also, check out my music videos. All of them will be in the links in the description box below, and I'll check you guys out on the next episode.